Hi, everybody, and welcome back. On today's episode, we will be discussing Flirting Lessons by Jasmine Guillory. But before we start today's discussion, we have a few reminders. We will be discussing on our next episode our favorite and some notable Black authors that we recommend for our season finale. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at bookedandbusypod_ for updates and additional announcements. And for any collabs, please DM us through Instagram or email us at bookedbusypodcast@gmail.com. So, I want to start our discussion today by asking you this question, Tanitra. Have you ever thought about dating women?
I did a couple of them in college. I was just doing stuff in college. I was dating anybody who was
Understandable.
cool. Yeah, so I talked to a couple of women in college. I also have a very funny story involving a friend of both of ours, Destiny. And I don't care if I tell this story. She ain't gonna hear this. But a few years ago, maybe almost 10 years ago, Destiny had this birthday party
Yeah.
and she had a bisexual friend there, and she was flirting with me at Destiny's birthday party. But I just thought she was a real cool girl. Like, we had exchanged numbers. We had been texting for a few days. I thought we were cool. She was a very cool person. Like, I thought we were just
Right.
being friends. And then a few days later, Destiny and her boyfriend invited me out with one of his friends to go bowling for my birthday. And earlier in the day, she had asked me, "Are you doing anything for your birthday? You gonna hang out?" And I was like, "No, I'm probably just gonna like hang out around our house," because I didn't have any plans at the time. But Destiny asked me the same day. And so later on that evening, Destiny had met me at the bowling alley. She like, "Yeah, she's pissed at you. She's real mad at you." I was like, "Why?" She was like, because she was like, if she didn't want to hang out with me, she could have just said that instead of lying and blah. And I was like, "That's not what happened." And that's when I like, it dawned on me, oh my God, I wasn't
Like, she
like,
like you.
yeah. So I guess this book did kind of clear up some stuff for me, because I was like, I definitely thought you were just being cool, girl.
A similar story to that as well. And it happened the night of my college graduation. Me and my line sister, we went out. Like, we went to a couple of places first before we got to like the actual like main event, main party. And
Yes.
I was already shit faced drunk, and I think this is the Aquarius in me. When I'm having a conversation with people, I think people be thinking I'm flirting with them, and it's just really me having a really
Sociable.
engaging
Yes.
conversation. Like, and most of the time I'm an introvert, but when I actually do, when it's time for me to have a conversation and interact with people, I'm actually like really well with doing that. But
Yeah.
some people take it the wrong way, and that happens to me as well with men, just in general. Like, they think
Absolutely.
I'm flirting, and I'm honestly just being friendly, but I guess I'm showing too much teeth because they think I like them. So it was this girl that was there. She was obviously gay. She was like kind of like man like gay. Sorry if I offend. I
A
don't
little
want to offend
butchy.
any. Yeah, I don't want to offend nobody to say that. But I think she thought I was flirting with her because she had bought me a couple of shots and
Oh
whatnot.
God.
No. And I have a friend that's gay, so I have to ask her, how do you guys think that somebody is gay, or how do you know that somebody is gay? But how was I coming off like that I was interested in her?
What did
That's
she
what
say though? I'm interested in the answer.
she was just, it was just the talking, and then she had asked for my number, like in a sense, like we
She
could
asked for my
hang
number
out.
too, and I
Yeah,
was just like, yeah.
yeah, and that's just being gullible. Like, I'm thinking you just want to be friends, but no, they be thinking you want to talk, and I'm just kind of like, no, like I have a whole boy at the time. I'm like, I have a whole boyfriend. Like,
Right.
I was just like, whoa.
Not more than one shot too. Like, she
Yeah,
was
it was
pouring it on
it was
her.
like it was a few, and then I also had like an embarrassing moment where I didn't take the whole shot. I kind of gagged it back because it was like too strong for me. So I was like, oh, dang, my bad.
I
But yeah,
feel like at some point though, like you could tell when somebody's engaged with you, like flirting. You know what I mean? Like, but maybe you don't, because I got an Aquarius moon, and I had no idea until Destiny was like, "Yeah, she's mad at you,"
but it's like, why you getting mad like that? I'm
because
like,
like to her, like it came. I guess it came off like we squashed it like the next year or so, but to her, I guess it came off like I was playing or something. Like I really thought we were just talking. She was very nice. She introduced me to astrology and everything, and she was a cool girl. But she was like, no, if she had something to do, she could have just said something. She didn't have to go make nothing up and blah, blah, blah. I was like, and then I was like, is it because I'm going on a date with a dude? Like, I don't like. Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta, like, you don't have to do all that. Like, don't, like, and
Yeah.
that be the thing, like, sometimes with, like, gay people, I guess, it's just like that girl side, that emotional side start coming out of
Yeah.
them.
And that's why I'm like, I don't understand how you could, like, I mean, I guess I could sexually, like, you're attracted to a woman, but I couldn't be in a relationship with another woman. I'm a lot by myself. I'm a lot for myself to handle. I can't do two of these.
And you remember, we went to high school with a bunch of gay people.
They called JD just dykes.
Yeah, that's
that was horrible.
Story
that
for
was
another
horrible.
day. I remember they used to be fight. They used to be the main ones, like fighting. Like it never was just like a girl fight. It always used to be like oh no, it's a fight, like a couple fighting, and it's just like I don't think this is right, but it's like a thing.
Oh my God, it was always
fight.
A lot of lesbian fights.
Yes, and it's like a thing of like, okay, I guess y'all can put
going on.
Yeah, y'all can put y'all hands on each other, I guess, but it's like it still feels very domesticated.
Like looking back on it, I was like, yeah, a lot of that was messed up. Like, oh my God. They did fight all the time. Oh my God, I'm getting like a flood of memories.
Yeah, it's like it's always like a thing. Yeah, it's that one, and it's like, you know how when you bringing up somebody and you'll be like, yeah, I know her, I class with her, and be like, oh no, like she was fighting her girlfriend. It's always like that. It will always
fighting her girlfriend. Yep.
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
Also, I want to bring up like another point as well. So I know two people. One of them happens to be my cousin, and she actually has a girlfriend now, but she actually she's been married before to just a regular man, and she has like how many kids my cousin got? 4. She has like 4 kids. Yeah, and so it's just like, what is it? And I know someone else that has like a girlfriend now after they have been in a spew of relationships. Yeah, after they've been in a spew of relationships with me. And so it's like, what is the turning point in your head to be like, I want to date a woman? Because I'm not going to lie.
I feel like they was always just a little bisexual. Like they just had a little, it was just latent. And after enough men relationships, they meet the right woman or something. I know that's how it was for my sister. Like we always knew she had like tendencies, but she got 2 kids, but she likes men. But when she got her girlfriend, it was literally like none of us were surprised. We were just like, okay. But like, I don't know. I wonder what that is though. I guess Avery identified a lot of that.
And that's what I wanted to bring up. Like with Avery is the main character in the book. Mm-hmm. She came out of a long-term relationship and she decided that she wants to try being with women now. So in my head, I'm thinking, I'm sorry, like I couldn't see myself doing it. Maybe, and I'm not putting nothing past. Like I ain't gonna say I'm not not open to it, because you never know what may happen. But it's like I just like men too much, or men a whole lot.
That's exactly it for me. Like, I'm honest enough to admit it to myself. And then I don't know if you be seeing those pages on Twitter, like, because they always make me feel uncomfortable. But it's like you got feminists, and then you got like those super feminists who also are like lesbian and stuff, and they like full on into it, like fuck the patriarchy and all that, and I'm with all that. But then they be like, if you really were, then you wouldn't be in a relationship with a man. I feel like all of us aren't lesbians.
Yeah, like
there has been a lot. I've been seeing that so much, and it's just like, to really establish change, y'all have to like stop having relationships with these men. And I get like the idea behind it, but I'm like, that's a little too woke for me.
Because not all men are horrible. Like,
they're not.
That's the thing.
That's one. And then 2, like, everybody doesn't have your sexual preference just because you go to sleep and like you don't care about no man. And like, that's not fair to the rest of us. Like, we didn't create this like situation we were born into.
Right.
But I get it, but
yeah,
absolutely
I get
not.
it. Like, if you, like you said, I think it's just they kind of always knew they probably like women. I have to ask my friend about that. She listens to our podcast. She actually like a avid reader. Yeah, so I want to ask her one day, like how is it? Like, how do you know that you just like women?
Like, I'm curious.
It's the thing. So I'm
like, what did I do to make that girl think that? And like, how can I avoid doing it in the future? Because I did. I felt really bad. I was like, what? She mad at me on my birthday?
They on Christmas. Like, what you mad at me
it's
for?
Literally 2 holidays happening right now, and she had just stopped texting me. I didn't know why.
You want to start off with giving a summary of Flirting Lessons?
Sure. So in Flirting Lessons by Jasmine Guillory, we meet 2 main characters, Taylor and Avery. Avery, as we've already kind of discussed, was in a long-term relationship with a man. When we meet her, she is dealing with the breakup of it all, and she is ready to explore women. She's always kind of felt a little bi-curious, but now she's fully really ready to have a relationship with women, but she's not really that well versed in lesbian spaces and whatnot. So enter Taylor, who was like, I guess, a Napa Valley it girl, and she's known to get around. And in direct opposition to Avery, she is very comfortable in her lesbian identity and all of that. And she's had a lot of partners, and everybody around town knows it. So these two meet at a party, and Taylor decides that she's going to give Avery flirting lessons. She's going to take her out. She's going to bring her around and show her how to actually flirt with women. And, they established, I think, a time frame over the summer that she's going to teach Avery how to flirt. And meanwhile, Taylor doesn't like relationships. She's known for being like hopping from relationship to relationship, and Avery knows this about her, so she is not willing to be completely invested in Taylor. However, there is an obvious attraction between the two. They eventually end up hooking up, and it gets to that inevitable point where they have to decide, are we going to be together or not? And Taylor has to reconcile the fact that she has all these feelings, and Avery then decides she's going to reconcile her feelings, and they get together at the end. Y'all know they did. But it was a cute little story. I think it was a very good coming of age story as well, if I had to find a few redeeming points for me personally, because I feel like this book wasn't really speaking to me, and that's fine. Like, I think it was designed for a specific audience, but I do think there were some topics. Adrian, I don't know if you agree, because Taylor is the same age as we are. I noticed that in the book. But a lot of the things that she was dealing with was like feeling like she wasn't progressing. But Taylor she was feeling like she wasn't progressing as like well in life as some of her peers. Like, she was comfortable with her life, she's fine. But that feeling of like everybody's like having kids, getting married, cohabitating and stuff, like, am I adulting wrong? And like, she has to reconcile her feelings with that, and she comes to grips with all of that.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. Now that I identified with, like, I had to deal with that a lot last year, but
shoot, I still kind of like somewhat
every once in a while it comes up. You like, dang, like, am I adulting right? Then you're like, okay, I'm fine. I ain't got no
But then
kids.
You have to realize that when I get into modes like that, I snap out of it, because in reality, I don't want that. For real.
Same.
Like, I don't really, like, how people, like getting
right
married,
now,
buying a house. No. Yeah, like, I don't want no house. I don't want, like, none of the extra responsibilities right now.
And I ain't trying to be funny. Everybody that I know who is, like my close people that I know who are in relationships and they're actually having children and they living together and stuff, like,
they're not
that
happy
seems
like
a lot of work.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they happy. They don't be happy like that.
It be seeming like a lot of work. Like, y'all cute and all of that. I love all of that, but that seems like a lot of work that I'm just not willing to deal with right now.
Yeah, I just feel like just right now I'm just not on that level of adult, and that's fine. So that's how I snap out of it. Yeah, I will say in parts of the book, well, elements, I really like their names, because I have a unisex name, so I really like Avery and Taylor. I like those names, and I'm glad Jasmine Guillory chose those names.
Always loved Taylor. Avery is a super cute name.
Yes, I love those names. Also, I'm glad that this book is located in Napa Valley. Now, I will say I forgot to mention this too when I did put this book on the list, and I didn't realize until after, but this is a sequel to Drunk on Love by Jasmine Guillory. So I don't know if you remember reading about Luke and Margot,
yes,
but they are the characters from the first book in this.
Oh, okay.
And I read that book, but it didn't dawn on me until I was actually reading, like, oh, this was the sequel to Drunk on Love. But this is a good standalone, so if somebody read this on its own, it's fine.
Because Luke was a little boring, but I would read that story.
Yeah, it was a really good book. But like I said, I listened to that book on Audible. But we're going to get into, like, how we overall rate this book. I know we briefly discussed that.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm glad that the book is located. The setting is Napa Valley. Napa Valley is very beautiful. I visited when I went to San Francisco about 2 years ago. I feel like everyone should experience Napa, and how a lot of people make wine and things out there. Like, Napa is a place that I think everyone should visit.
I want to. Wine country.
Yes, it's very interesting. So I like how they dive into that. Yeah, most definitely. I like the Bay Area. I like the Bay. So I think everybody should visit that. But let's dive into these discussion questions. Okay, so question number 1. Both Taylor and Avery feel stuck in their lives in different ways. Taylor feels like her friends are moving on to the next stage of their lives without her, which we discussed, and Avery feels like she hasn't done the normal things for people her age. Have you ever felt stuck in your life, and how did you overcome it?
So yeah, we did touch on this a little bit, but how I overcame it, actually, I think just self-reflecting and recognizing, like, it usually doesn't take me long to be like, everybody's life is different. Like, your life isn't going to look like anybody else's life. and you have to like stop comparing yourself to people. First of all, that's the first thief of joy to me in my mind. So once I stop doing that, I'm able to actually just, I'm happy for my friends, and I'm happy that it's not me. But yeah, I feel like, and I'm also not like, it's not like we're failures, so that also gives me a little bit more, you know, credence. And I'm just like, at least I have a job, I'm like, I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm happy, like everything else is fine. So once I just, you know, center on myself and stop comparing myself to people, that really helped me get over it.
And I think people also need to realize as well that you need to do exactly what makes you happy and not think about what you think you should be doing. Like, you should be kind of moving on to the beat of your own drum. If you don't have a house right now, that's fine. If you don't want to buy a house till you 45, that's fine. Like, you just need to do exactly like what you want to do, because at the end of the day, this is your life. Not anybody else's.
Somebody else running on these tracks. You need to stick to your tracks and get off other people's.
Yeah, so, and it's okay if you experience things later in life. It's okay. Like, it's not a big deal. But yeah, like you said, comparison is the thief of joy. So I think people get too wrapped up in that, seeing people on social media when you don't even know exactly how people are really living for real, unless they tell you. Because I'll say this, I know a couple, and I'm not saying this ain't necessarily everybody's story, or it may not be necessarily true. I know a couple who got engaged a few years ago, and I think that's a red flag to me. And I think they ain't all the way happy, and it may look like they probably got it all together when in actuality that may not be the case. So yeah, and
people tend to post the best of their lives. Like, you're not going to see the hard parts and the rough patches and all the like stuff that's going on in the background. I absolutely agree. Like, you can't just go off of what you stand and start comparing yourself.
Yeah, because I feel like y'all could have been got married. I don't know exactly what you guys have planned or whatnot, or what's going on, but I feel like it's something that is not on display. That's what I feel. That's just my personal opinion.
I don't want no long engagement. Like,
yeah, exactly. I think that's unnecessary, and I don't know what's probably the reason or whatever it is behind it, but I can see certain things like some don't seem right, or some ain't going right, or something not right.
Something in the milk ain't clean.
Okay, next question. It says, one of the first ways Avery starts to get out of her shell is by trying new things and going to new places, like joining a gardening club. What is a hobby you have always wanted to try? Well, I do want to talk about her joining the gardening club. I did think that was very good, and she made a friend.
She did. That was cute.
Was it Beth? Yeah. I thought that was like really cute, because she also touched on like how she didn't have that many friends after her last relationship. So, and I always talk about friendship in your circle. So I really like that they highlighted that. Like, I just thought it was really, really cute. Like, she found like a genuine friend.
They touched on a lot of things, like a lot of good things of friendship in this book. I will say that. Like, even with Erica and Taylor, like that was like super real and super cute to me. But like, that got real. Like, I have personal experience, like, not being jealous, but just feeling like, okay, am I going too slow? Like, am I need to, what's going on? Like, you know, but that was real.
So I have like a question, like, as far as the gay community, or gay dynamics, I should say. So how do you know, like, if this is somebody you interested in versus you want this to be your friend? Like, if you talking to a girl, how do you want this to be your friend versus like girlfriend? Because I kind of like noticed that like in the book, because I'm thinking, okay, like, is Beth gonna be her friend, or is this, well, Beth was married, so about to get married, so I'm just thinking, like, how do you have those conversations of, oh, let's be friends versus let's be girlfriends? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's the same as it would be with a man and a woman. Like, there has to be some type of attraction there, like some like mutual attraction. Like, you know, when somebody's kind of interested in you, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, over a long period of time, not one night at a party that you're supposed to figure out that a girl likes you when you thought she wanted to be your friend. But I feel like over a long period of time, you start to realize, like, this person is into me, or like, this person is my friend. Like, you and I talk constantly, and I never thought like Adrian wants to have sex with me. So it's like,
you're right,
you know.
But then like, again, you know, I like dudes though, so that's the thing.
I don't know what you do in your spare time. I'm just playing.
You would know if I had a girlfriend. As much as we talk, you would know that. Nah.
Yeah, that's true though. With a lesbian, maybe it would be a little. I don't know. That's a good question.
But what's sort of hobby that you like want to try though?
That I want to try.
I want to try aerial
I
yoga.
did want to start
do
gardening. Oh, I did want to. I did want to start trying. I've done yoga before. I did want to try Pilates. I do want to start planting stuff. I've always wanted to like grow my own fruits and vegetables.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go to. They have a Pure Bar here in Montgomery, so let's go one day.
Ooh.
It's a mix of like what is it, ballet, Pilates, and yoga. Like I used to do yoga a lot when I was in Phoenix, but
Oh, I'll go.
yeah,
I'm down
but
for some yoga.
I didn't really like Pilates by itself when I tried it, but we can
I
definitely.
feel like it's gonna get me
try.
ripped real fast. I don't need a hard workout. I just need a tone up sometimes, and I feel like Pilates is going whip me into shape.
Okay, well we'll plan that.
Yes.
With you like gardening, I don't like no type of outside work. I just think that's
No. I don't want to be outside. See,
So you want to be a plant
back
mom.
in Georgia, me and my friend, like she had actually started planting stuff like inside her house, and you get these little grow racks. Eventually, I do like once I'm like settled in a house with enough space for me to have a sunroom and whatnot. But like you get these racks, and they have the lights with the shelves on them, and you can start growing little small fruits and vegetables inside of the house. That's probably what I would do. I'm not gonna be outside in Alabama.
Yeah, so you want to be a plant mom.
I
See it
do.
all the time
Yeah.
on TikTok.
But you know, lemons, limes, like little small stuff.
If you go on Instagram and follow this page, and it's like a black man who gardens page, and I just be so
Ooh.
in awe. I'd be like, oh my god, these earthy men, these Lenny
That would be
Kravitz
perfect
looking
for me.
men. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, so definitely
Put that in my notes.
check them out.
That's up my alley.
Next question. It says, Taylor has a lot of friends, including several that she once dated. Have you stayed friends with an ex before, or do you think that once you break up, you should stop talking for good? I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, I've staged social media acquaintances with exes, but as far as friends, no, I don't care about your life, and you're not going to hear anything about mine unless it's through the grapevine from somebody else. I'm sorry, I don't, especially if I'm in another relationship, I don't feel like there's no reason for us to still have a line of communication.
Yeah, I agree. So here's my like kind of take on it, because I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. So I'm just being honest right now. So I still talk to my ex, but we don't talk about nothing as far as like our relationship. It's like pure kind of like we're just friends. So, but here's the
That's
thing,
very
like I
grown
know, yeah, it is, but I feel like once I get into a new relationship, I'm cutting that off.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be disrespectful for whoever my new partner is.
Absolutely.
And also, as well, I'm going to say this. I know if I get into a relationship, I don't want nobody talking about they still talk to their ex, or they still are
That's
friends with their
exactly how I be
ex.
looking at it. You better not be
Yes.
talking to that girl.
Yes, like I don't care like if we dated, but like once we're like official, like that's a done deal. So I
Done.
expect kind of the same thing. I expect the same thing, and I would want to put out that same, I don't want to be a hypocrite in regards to it.
Yeah.
So as far as right now, like nothing's wrong with it, because it ain't like nothing bad. Ain't like I'm arguing with my ex or doing nothing like that. It's just strictly friends. And if I feel like he's talking about to go into a conversation with anything with our relationship, I kind of like end the conversation, or I go change the conversation to something else. So yeah, it's okay. I feel like you still friends. Now in Taylor and Eric, who is it? Taylor and Erica, was it them that was dating?
Oh, I think it was somebody else. Was it Erica?
Hold on.
I think her and Erica were just best friends.
Okay. Yeah, I think it
I know
was somebody. I think it was
though. I'm
like
forgetting the
Liz.
name.
Was it Liz?
Yeah, it started with a L.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really have no feelings on them for real.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, sure.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. It says, a big part of Taylor and Avery's relationship is planning dates for each other. What is your ideal date, and what date would you plan for someone you're dating?
My ideal date, anywhere really. Like I'm cool. Like I'm not hard to please. Like as long as we have good conversation, I can go get me a cocktail. Like we can go anywhere as long as they serve cocktails.
Yeah, I ain't really too picky.
I'm not like you need to take me to blah blah blah. Like I mean, we can do something fun and cute. Like go to, I don't even know. Like
All right, we can
I'm
go to a
down for
little
anything,
pottery
really.
class or something.
Yeah, like
That's
something out
cool.
of the box like that. Like that's fine. I'm usually down though. I'm not too hard to please.
Now we'll say, don't take me nowhere that we like go all the time, we eat all the time, or like we do all the time. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
go
not a
to the
date.
gym a lot. Like don't say we want to go to a gym date. Like I don't.
I'll punch you in the face.
Yeah,
This is a chore.
yeah. Like don't. Like, and I don't like working out with people neither. So that's why
Oh, me
I'm just
either.
like, well, I ain't gonna say I don't like it. I just rather go ahead and just go and get it out the way. And I like kind of
Yeah.
going on my own time versus waiting on people.
And I need my headphones.
Because I about don't even like going to the gym when there's a whole bunch of people in there in the first place. So
Same.
that's why I'm just like, yeah, don't plan nothing like that. But I'm open to whatever. Just nothing that we just do. Like just be. Let's try something new. Let's like how if you go out of town, you don't want to eat at McDonald's. Like
Yeah, no.
yeah, you want to try something that's new you ain't never had before. So I feel like that just for dates in general. And that just goes for also just when you're planning a date. Like yeah, we go to the movies all the time, but of course we're not gonna see the same movie. We gotta see a different movie. So it's just a thing of you have to switch it up.
Hey, let's go to a little museum or something.
Right. Let's do something a little different. Okay. Next question. That's a good question. It says Avery started her own event planning business, and Taylor dreams of opening a local wine bar. Have you ever dreamed of starting a business? What would it be?
Yes, and I plan to. I actually got a couple of businesses in mind that I know I'm going to start eventually. One, I know I definitely want to found my own digital marketing agency. I've been in digital marketing for like 6 years now, and I've always planned to like open my own and cater to my people. Because like a lot of companies don't really cater to my community the way that I would want to. And then I would want a publishing company, and then I would also want to start professional astrology services eventually. Like not now, I don't feel like it. I don't like to be bothered with people enough for me to do that, but I know that down the line I do want to start like counseling. I want to get some type of counseling certification so that I can properly do it, but I do want to use astrology and start some type of like, astrology counseling.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such an underrated hobby. I know I like talking to other people about astrology. I'm glad my friends are into astrology. When I used to be with my ex-boyfriend, he would be like, because I did a deep dive into his birth chart, and he was like, when I tried to explain it to him, he was like, you're talking mermaid right now.
That's
and I'm
my
just like,
boyfriend
oh,
right
like
now.
you're no fun. Like,
I don't know what none of that means. I'm like, I'm telling you what it means.
right. And I'm just like,
This is important.
Right, and I tried to point out something significant because, I'm an Aquarius and he was an Aquarius moon, and I'm like, do you know how significant
my
that
God.
is? Like, we're here to teach each other stuff. Like, I don't think
That's
you understand
crazy.
that. Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes, so I'm just like, you don't, like,
I know
you're
that
taking the
exact
fun.
feeling. Right? And my boyfriend, I'm a Leo rising. He's a Leo moon.
Okay.
And then I have he has Capricorn on the 7th house in his partnership house, and my son is in his 7th house. His son is in my 1st house. So we are in each other's partnership houses. And I'm just like, this is so significant, and you don't even care.
Right. It's like, you talking mermaid right now. Like, I don't.
He's like, I don't know what none of that means.
I'm just like, you know.
You're not even trying.
Right. So, yeah, I think that's really good.
Yes. What about you?
Well, as far as me starting a business, I always said I wanted to start a coffee shop, but then again, I don't really want to be too much into like kind of restaurant business because I worked at a restaurant for 3 years. I worked at Tzatziki's here in Montgomery, and I fucking hated it to my core. So I don't think I want to too much do it. Like I like it. Like I like
All
coffee.
the pretty girls worked at Tzatziki's.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I like coffee, but I don't know if I would want to have a full-fledged business. Like I know a long time ago I said, oh, I would like to own a waxing studio because I just thought it was kind of like a cheaper business to kind of like go into, sort per se. But I also like when people practice self-care. True, I still might even, I don't know, think about it. But I have a thing of like, I don't want to get too into something and then fall out of love with it, if that makes sense.
I feel that.
Yeah, but those were two like business ideas I've
I
had
could definitely
before.
see you with a cute little coffee shop.
Yeah, I like coffee. I like matcha. I just got into matcha not so long ago, but I think they're overdoing
I
it
can
now.
see myself going in there now. I got somewhere to go read and chill out. Like I ain't gotta go nowhere public for real.
Yeah,
like it would be a
it's
cute little
very,
hangout.
Yeah, it's very limited places that are like on like that because I don't really like going into Starbucks too much. It's too much.
Same.
Yeah, it's too much going on up in there. Like, like I
Like
just
I
want
want
a
somewhere I
chill
can get
place.
into a big chair and talk to my homegirls, read my book.
Next question. And we touched on this a little bit actually. I like how our discussions kind of like go into these questions already. But it says,
Yes.
as much as this book is about romance, it's also about friendship. Both Avery and Taylor grow in and out of friendships. How have your closest friendships developed over time? Have you ever grown apart from someone who used to be a best friend? I can say that about us. Like, I know when we went off to college, we didn't like, all talk like that with like all our friends that we had from high school. But I mean, that
Once we
just
get back
distance.
together, like, yeah, because once, like, I can honestly say, like, all of y'all, maybe a couple that I just like. It's not like we fell out or anything, but I just
Right.
don't talk to them anymore.
Right.
But it's like most of y'all, like that I was friends with back in high school or that I've been friends with for years. I'm pretty proud to say like I've never fallen out, like, and we're just like grown apart, and I don't know what's going on in their life. Like, you still my friend even if we haven't talked, and like once we get back together, it's like no time has passed. That's how I know you're my friend for real.
But I will say, as far as touching on people who kind of like, don't kind of like be friends, it don't necessarily be like a falling out, but it's just a thing of people take on different interests and go in different paths.
And your life just goes in different directions.
Yeah, and just different stuff like goes on. I know a couple of people I used to be friends with probably like in college or so, like, you know, they got kind of like families going on or just a different kind of life going on.
Yeah.
And so of course we not gonna be talking about the same thing, and then of course like right now I'm single, so I can't really too much. Yeah, I talk to, like, I have friends that are in relationships, but I can't really do a whole too much like with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's nothing wrong with that. It's just people just get different interests sometimes.
And your life is just doing something that my life isn't doing right now. We just don't have a whole, you know, people get busy and we don't have a whole bunch that we can relate to right now. But I second that. Like, I have a few actually now, like super close friends, but once they started having babies, like, it's not like we're not friends anymore, but we're going to talk less, and y'all going to have less time. Obviously, I don't take it personal, but we definitely aren't as close maybe as we used to be, but that's still my dog. You can still call me, you can still text me, and we going to have a conversation.
Next question says, Taylor's bet with Erica leads to an unintentional expiration date to Taylor and Avery's relationship. Have you ever been in a similar situation with your partner or a friend where they said one thing and you interpreted it to mean something very different? How did you resolve it? So can you give me a little bit of background, because I didn't okay, and I'm sorry to the audience, I didn't finish the book all the way, so I'm just gonna give that disclaimer. Tanitra did, and I didn't finish the book. Can you give kind of like I knew like after they slept together, like, I got to the part like when Taylor told Erica about Avery and them sleeping together. I knew when, and she had to play in the baby shower. Oh, so you didn't get to the baby shower? I didn't get to the baby shower, no.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you a rundown. Like, it was just a few dates between Taylor and Avery until then, so you didn't miss much. But at the baby shower, Taylor plans the baby shower with, I think her name was Shannon, Erica's new friend. But so it goes well, everything's going good. But then Taylor is helping take some stuff to the car for the baby and whatnot, because the partner is about to leave.
Right.
And she comes back and she overhears her friends along with Erica talking about how long do y'all think this relationship is gonna last? Like, because her and Avery actually do become official. And so they're like, how long y'all think this is gonna last? And Erica is actually the one who's like, I'm gonna place a bet that they won't make it past, I think it was her due date or something. Erica made a bet on their relationship, and she was saying they wouldn't last, basically.
That's so
and everybody's
hurtful.
Just kind of like laughing and stuff, and it hurt Taylor's feelings, and they ended up having a little and Shannon, the friend, I'm so sorry if this ain't that girl's name, I think it is though, the one that Taylor didn't like initially, who was Erica's new friend, she is actually the only person who took up for Taylor when they were all making the bet and whatnot. So Taylor ends up liking her more and feeling bad for treating that girl like crap, because she realized that she was just a little jealous that her best friend was hanging around somebody else, but she stuck up for her, and they you know, made up a little bit, but it was messed up.
Okay, yeah, that's very mean. So did they all end up falling out? Like, was Taylor not friends with her anymore?
No, she was just upset with them, and she was really the most upset with Erica because it was Erica who
Yeah,
brought
because
up
that's
the
her
date.
closest friend.
Absolutely,
Like,
and
how
she
dare
was she
you?
was laughing and kikiing with it.
Okay, so did that Avery and Taylor end up breaking up, or did they just like what
No,
happened?
they're together.
Okay. So I
I think
guess
they had a little tiff. They had a little, that little argument they be having in these books before they decide they really want to be together.
okay. But back to the question, it says, have you ever been in a similar situation with your partner or a friend where they said one thing and you interpreted it to mean something very different? How did you resolve it? I mean, with the unintentional expiration date, I don't really know how to answer that question.
Oh yeah, I guess the way it's phrased is weird because they both thought something different, but of course you would, like, nobody has had established it as a relationship until they actually did. So before then, of course, it's going to seem like an unintentional expiration date on a relationship. Avery on one side was like, I like Taylor, like now we're sleeping together, I'm having fun, but deep down I know that this girl doesn't want a relationship, so I'm not going to get too attached. Whereas Taylor is like developing feelings for her, for Avery, for real, but she has already had this conversation with her at the beginning, like, don't fall in love with me type shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now she's like, I got to wrestle with that versus now I actually want to be with this person, and can I be in a long-term relationship with this one person? So as the expiration date, quote unquote, approaches, that's when things kind of come to a head, and they both give it a try.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. But that was, I
Yeah.
hate to hear that, so I can't wait till I get to that part in the book.
No,
Sorry.
that was some tea. That was a little tea, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Last question says, Avery and Taylor have complementary personalities and skills. Do you think the idea of opposites attract is important in relationships? How do Taylor and Avery complement each other in their relationship? Yes, it's very important. It is important that opposites
I
attract.
agree.
Yeah, I know we were just
And I
talking
wouldn't
about.
have believed that until my current relationship. But go ahead, my bad.
No, you're okay. Yeah, because even when we were talking about astrology, and you know what they say, like water and fire signs can't be together or something like that. What do they be saying? What is it that can't be
So
together?
water and earth signs are directly opposite each other. They sister signs, whereas water and fire kind of have the same qualities but exhibited different ways. So it tends to like mash up sometimes. But any configuration can really work. You have to look at the whole of the chart and not just like the sun. You know that already. But like they do say that they're kind of incompatible because they're both emotional, but fire is more outwardly expressive and channels that emotion, whereas water is going to repress it until it can't be repressed anymore, and it comes out in these really horrifying ways. But yeah, so they say that, but any two signs can work together if they really want to.
I think I'll bring up a point as far as like astrology. So, somebody brought this up. Did you used to watch Jersey Shore?
Yes.
Yeah, so I used to be tuned in, of course. I love Jersey Shore. I still be like, I be super weak at like old clips that circulate.
Me too.
And they were saying, somebody brought up that, and I'm not sure if it's accurate or not, but somebody brought up, I remember this on TikTok, that they said all the Jersey Shore cast were all fire signs or something like that.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, makes sense. It makes sense.
No way. Now you gonna make me go look. Don't you tell me that.
No,
now I'm gonna go look.
It was something of that nature that they were all fire signs. Like, and I was just like, oh, that
That
makes
is crazy.
total sense. So it was so much chaos. Like, they weren't like getting along at certain points. I promise. Or it was something to the fact of where they were like, they weren't probably earth signs. I'm not quite sure.
Okay,
but
the situation is a Cancer.
Okay.
I just had to go look real quick because I started Googling people and I was like, hold on, that's crazy because I'm going to look this up later.
But yeah, it's just a thing of you can't be the same. People can't be like together.
Agreed.
Like, it's like you have to complement each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I'm very compatible with air signs. I have a lot of air in my chart. I'm very compatible with earth signs. I'm always going to get along with the Virgo, the Taurus, the Aquarius, the Gemini, the Libra. I might not like you that much. We might not like each other, but we can get along.
Yeah, I have a lot of earth signs in my chart. I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. Explains earth probably why I get along with you so much. Yes. I have Taurus in my chart.
I have hella Aquarius.
Yeah, so it makes sense. So that's why we're saying like kind of like, opposites. We all just can't kind of just be the same.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But compatibility is important.
Right. And I will also bring this up as well. I like how they did touch on that in the book when Avery and one of Taylor's friends were having a conversation about astrology and they touched on their big three. And I was just I would have been so ecstatic if somebody would ask me.
Right?
I was like,
I get so excited when somebody is like, they know theirs.
Right. Yeah.
My God.
And I don't be want to be weird, like, what time were you born? Like, I'll look it up
Right?
real quick.
It's like, that's because I gotta ask you. It's a funny story. My boyfriend wouldn't tell me what time he was born because he knew I studied astrology when we first started dating.
He thought you was a witch or something.
He did, kind of, a little bit, but he's like, I don't want you doing spells on me or doing stuff in me. I'm like, that's not what a birth chart is, but whatever. He wouldn't tell me. Then he told me the wrong time once. I didn't forgive him for like a year for that because you know how critical.
Oh my God.
Like, right?
Yeah.
And so eventually I ended up getting a birth certificate from his mama because don't play with me.
Right, you just.
And that's how I know his chart.
Right, you just have to get somebody's just flat out. You have to be lurking around their house and just get they.
You do, and you can't ask the mamas all the time either, because mamas just be making up stuff, and then they'll just be like, they'll remember around the time. But I don't blame you. You was busy pushing out a human at the time. I don't think you would remember everybody, but like mamas will give you a roundabout time, and then it'd be wrong.
Nah, my mama memory bad, so I don't even be asking her stuff. I had told her the other day because we was having a discussion about like kids being left at home, and I was like, yeah, me and Audrey, that's my sister, we was like, we used to be left at home a long time when we was 5 and 7 years old because y'all used to be at work all the time. And she was like, I don't remember that, y'all weren't at home that long. And I said, Mama, y'all were at work freaking time.
How you gonna tell me?
How you gonna tell me? That's like a core memory for me. Yeah, like, yes, you did. Because we was talking about, like, I was saying, like, my nephew old enough to be left at home for a couple hours or so. I was like, you just lock the door and you don't answer the door for nobody. Like, that's how that is. And she was like, I didn't leave y'all at home that young. And I was like, yes, you did. So, yes, like, mamas don't be remembering nothing.
You know, I give you grace.
Yeah, I guess. I think it just come with old age or memory fog or something like that. But she be making, she low-key be frustrating me when she do that. Like, no, like, that's like, don't blur out my significant moments in life. Like, hold on now. Like, we're not, I'm gonna make you remember. Not, like, some stuff I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna make you remember now. Like, don't do that.
It's personal now.
Okay, but let me look at these reviews on Flirting Lessons. I rate the book 3 stars out of 5 in my opinion. Like, it wasn't just, I'm not gonna recommend this book to anybody. Like, it's a good plot and I like the concept, but it's just one of them like cutesy reads. It ain't nothing that's like, you know how Demon's Dream was, or have like a bunch of action. It's just one of those, like you said, coming of age kind of tales or whatever. Yes, it's some adult type of things in here, like, of course, like being queer and lesbian and like all that, but it's just, I don't really recommend this to nobody as far as the writing. Discriminatory to gay people or nothing, but it's just the writing I don't really care for.
Yeah. I can kind of agree with that, like, because I'm fine with like problem, but I would probably say 2.5 to 3 stars for me out of 5, just because, and I'm fully aware of the fact that maybe this book just wasn't for me, because maybe she was writing this for like, this one was maybe just for her community, and if it wasn't, like, there were still some themes that I was able to relate to. But I'm willing to accept that maybe this one just wasn't for me. So
yeah, and that's understandable. Okay, here's a review on Goodreads right now, and this person rated it 2 stars out of 5. So, and she says, first of all, can we all just appreciate this gorgeous cover? Which it is. It is a very.
It is.
I like this
That's
cover.
What drew me in.
So I'm glad, like, I have this physical copy of this book. It says, it's giving queer shall we dance of Dirty Dancing vibes.
It does. And the book does, like, kind of give that, because they go out dancing and getting to know each other, and she's teaching her how to flirt. It was cute, and it definitely did match. It was cute.
Yes, and it says, the rest of the review, it says, if I'm being honest though, the cover of this book is far sexier than the story itself. Told in third person in dual POVs. Yeah, I don't really like that neither.
I hated that.
Yeah, I didn't.
For this story.
Yeah, I didn't like that neither. It says, the story follows Avery and Taylor, blah blah blah. It says, as much as I love the cover of the book and the premise of the story, I was really close to DNFing this book on multiple occasions because of the writing style and bland characters. Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, that was the main thing. It was very hard for me to get into, and yeah, I just didn't really care for it.
But that cover definitely, it gets you for that okie doke. And again, maybe somebody else just spoke to them and they just like, you know, like this is their thing. But that review hit the nail on the head for me. No sex in there for real. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to be funny. That's how I was like, I was not trying to be funny, but I kind of like skim past that because I don't want to read about no lesbians fingering each other. Like, I don't. I'm sorry. Please don't take any offense to that.
It's not your preference. That's fine.
Yeah, I just didn't really kind of care for that. I kind of skimmed through that when they got to the intimate scene.
Far and few between. I think it was maybe 2, if 3, if I'm being like optimistic. It wasn't even a whole bunch of sex up in there, and I be needing a little raunch in my books.
Yeah, but like I said, I love men. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And then I was thinking too, like I discussed this a little bit before we started recording, like maybe that's another reason why this book just didn't connect to me, but apparently it's not connecting to a few people. But yeah. I was just like, maybe I'm too male-centered and I'm looking for a male love interest to, come in there and start dominating and stuff. You know what I mean?
I love men. I'm sorry. I love man.
That's my kind of book.
I'm sorry.
Like Demon, like where's my Judah at? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like where's my Maverick? Where is my smoke? That's what I need. That's what I need. Hey, it's not our preference, but hey, I like the plot. I will say I just really did like the plot.
It was cute.
And this was my first lesbian read, so that's what I would say.
That concludes this week's episode of the Booked and Busy podcast. Be sure to tune in with us in next week's episode as we talk about notable Black authors and our favorite Black authors. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, and be sure to follow us on our socials and check out our reading list on Goodreads.